Nessa girl, this how you know it's time for me to transition out the pop culture game. Bitch, tell me why I don't sat up here and made a whole 20-minute video about Dwight Howard messing with a trans woman, uploaded the damn video, and come to find out he wasn't even messing with a trans woman, he was messing with a little boy. So now I'm back here making a whole nother video, throat hurt, but point remains the same. Nessa girl, did you get into these last 2 days of hot topics, bitch? They say Dwight Howard like his dick in his boogie hole, fool out loud by little boys, okay? Listen, y'all know I always like to wait a couple days when things like this come out because I like to get all the teas and supplemental information so we can figure out what's going on and talk about it intelligently. But I'm going to say this. Why I just rolled my head like Missy C. I believe every single word, every word. But you know what? I'm actually glad now that it wasn't a trans woman because I'm not as well versed in trans community politics, but I am a gay boy and I can really speak about this a hell of a lot more passionately. I don't give a good goddamn what the fuck was going on. I do not agree with what that young man did. First and foremost, let's just take sexuality completely out the fucking picture. Just from a human perspective, I do not agree with people sharing business that was not their business to share. If your friend over here going through a divorce and she told you and you know it ain't your job to tell anybody else. If Mary over here going through bankruptcy, it is not your job to share other people's business that they are not prepared to share. And that's just how I govern my life. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. And I'm going to tell you something. To Dwight Howard and all those other, let me back up. Allegedly, Dwight Howard messed with this boy. A bitch been in the game too long to get sued. If he did it to him and to others who may be messing with boys on the low, y'all gotta stop picking these lowbrow sissies. Y'all gotta start fucking with dudes who got equally as much to lose and as much of a reputation to protect as yours, because this is what happens. And this right now is why I'm so glad that I got a second opportunity to make this video, because I can speak on it very well now. I'm a gay boy. I'm a member of the gay community. And I don't know this young man personally, but I know punks like him. And here's the thing. I'm not buying any of this. I'm outing him because I was fearing for my life. No, you're outing him for fame and popularity. Listen, y'all, that is the undercurrent of gay culture, society, especially on the feminine gay boy scene. They love the fact that, oh, I was with a masculine man. Oh, I was with a celebrity nigga. Oh, this athlete, it's a badge of honor for them. It would seem to me that if you were fearing for your life, that you would have went to the authorities and not to Instagram. Like, there are ways that you can go about securing your safety and protection without causing this media storm. For somebody, to me, you said you were fearing your life, okay? All Dwight and his team allegedly did not want to happen was him to be outed. They were trying to prevent you from outing him. It would seem to me that if you truly feared for your life, you wouldn't out him and you would just leave him the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? If that's true. And here's the thing. I don't understand how this is protecting you, because at Dwight Howard's income level, it ain't nothing for him to go pay some niggas on the corner to come beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? And it not be traced back to him. It happens all the time. So I'm not understanding this. And as a resident gay person, I'm going to tell you something. I don't support it. I think that you set gay boys back 40 years. Here it is, you've got people already who are apprehensive and reluctant to even be around us, particularly straight men, because they think we messy faggots, messy sissies, messy punks. And here it is, you've done something to further perpetuate that stereotype. I can't get down with it. It's not cool. Coupled with the fact, and I've said this before in previous videos for those of y'all that follow me, being gay, especially being black and gay, we all have experienced. The one thing that binds the gay community together is that we all know what it feels like to not be accepted, to be scared, to be shamed, to hate who you are, to want to be somebody else. We know that. And for this young man to know what it's like and the fear of being outed, to turn around and inflict that level of pain and consequence upon somebody, I just can't respect it. Now, don't get me wrong. If what this young man is saying is true, that Dwight Howard and his pastor was, harassing him and threatening him, then yes, there should have been some sort of repercussion and consequence. But I just do not think this was the appropriate course of action. Now, perhaps based on his level of intellect and emotional intelligence, that perhaps this was the only thing he knew to do. I can't hold him accountable for not being me. Everybody don't know the classy based way of handling things depending on their experiences and where they come from. However, that's just me being voluntarily naive and generous. I am sorry, but I feel like everything about this outing was intentional. It was purposeful. It was meant to be hurtful. And not because I know this young man personally, but because I know the profile and because I am predisposed to thinking this, because this is what punks do. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad because you've got people out there who are truly struggling with their sexuality. And it's situations like this that make them fearful. And it's situations like this why gay boys is turning up dead in trunks and in dumpsters, and trans women and so on and so forth. Not saying that anybody deserves to be shot, killed, murdered, or anything in between. But you've got crazies out there, and you've got people out there, because of the way we are socially conditioned, who much rather go to prison than to be caught dead being called gay or messing with a trans person. And you've just really set us back. Y'all know every time I get an opportunity to speak on this, I always go in and let have on these people who out people. You know, unfortunately, we live in a culture where people are not allowed to be themselves. We live in a very binary world. We are socially conditioned to believe heterosexual and masculine acting is correct, and anything that deviates from that is wrong. It's an abomination. It's you should be ashamed of yourself. Your family not gonna want you. Your team not gonna want you. That's the world we live in. And listen, people like what they like. And I wish that we lived in a world where people could just be and express who they are. To my heterosexual, cisgendered men and women out there, I want to let you guys know something. You guys have a level of privilege that you don't even understand that you have. And, there goes that trigger word again, privilege. And, I had a problem with the word privilege because I've been catching hell lately about my male privilege. And the funny thing about privilege is many times it's a subconscious act that you don't even realize that you're doing, that you're in a dominant position when it comes to whatever category that you happen to be in. Straight people, straight cisgender people, the privilege that I want to discuss with you guys that you have the privilege of waking up, walking, talking, and breathing who you are, who you love, and what you love, without fear of judgment or consequence. And I think it's something that you guys sometimes take for granted. That you fit in this perfect binary box that society accepts. But what about the person who deviates from their profile? What about me? What about the gay athletes and entertainers out there that actually like women, like men, like flower pots and goats? They don't have the liberty of just waking up and freely being who they are because of your judgment. Your meaning society. Society judges people and says that you're supposed to fit in one of these two boxes. And it is so easy for people who perfectly fit and align with the ideas and the principles of one box to criticize and make comments about the other. You really don't know what a prison it is having affections and not being able to express them. Then what ends up happening is when these people commit suicide or they're deeply depressed, then the first thing you want to holler is, they should have just been themselves. Just come on out. We know you're doing it. But you don't, the greater world, you don't make it easy for people to come out. You don't make it easy for people to be themselves. You don't, and I'm not justifying the down low man, but I understand how he is created. Because you think about it, you know, you talk about it, just don't be fucking up women's lives on the down low. Just tell people you gay. That's very easy for you to say, somebody who fits in that perfect binary heteronormative box. But what if you are the young man who grew up in this type of family, in this type of environment, who's fearful of being shamed and shunned? Then you try your hardest to align with the heteronormative norms of society. But I'm going to tell you one thing, and this is why the down low man is created, and this is why people creep. Nature will always prevail. Nature will always prevail. Whatever your born human nature is will always prevail. Social constructs will always fail when in head-to-head combat with nature. And that's just true tea. I love the statement that the team issued. They was like, you know, these are just allegations, and regardless of what his sexual orientation may be, this has nothing to do with nothing, yada, yada, yada. That PR statement was perfectly crafted, because they crafted it in such a way where they were like, we support Dwight, and we ain't finna say he ain't gay because we don't know that to be true. But in the event that he is, in the words of Janet Jackson, it's all right with me. And I'm going to tell you something to you Christians out there. Since when the pastor became Olivia Pope, got this pastor around here harassing this boy. I believe it. I do believe there's a level of harassment going on, because he's got too much ammunition, too many, you know, half receipts. And I will tell you this. I already told y'all my next career is going to be crisis management. Dwight Howard handled this the best way possible, and that's to say nothing. This too shall blow over. Dwight can't say anything because this boy is already a loose cannon at this point, and there's no telling what other incriminating information that he may be holding on to. And Dwight cannot afford to further upset this boy, so he has to just take whatever damages come along and let this blow over. But I will say this, I don't like it. I don't support it. I don't support the sensationalism of shit like this, because it sets us back. It makes it hard for people to want to come out. Excuse me. For that guy, that athlete, that entertainer, that right there, that was on the cusp of coming out or getting just comfortable enough to discuss his sexuality and sexual preference with partners, family, or whatever. This just made that person say, hell no, bitch, let me run back in this closet and let me continue to live this life of deceit in this jail cell we call a closet. It's not cool, y'all. It's not cool. And like I said, I'm gay. I'm gay like this and not like this, bitch. I'm real gay. And I don't support guys like this. I don't support punks like this. This to me is the living, breathing manifestation of the stereotype. Messy punk, messy sissy, shitty boongie faggot. Like, I just don't like it. And because I understand that there's this social undercurrent in the gay community, that gay sissy boys, femboys get off on shit like this, I'm just like, two wrongs don't make a right. And some people may argue that it was Dwight Howard, them harassing this boy, that pushed him to the brink to doing this. I disagree. I think he wanted to do this regardless. You know, everybody wants to be famous these days, but nobody wants to work for it. And that's just what I get from this. Now, I may be totally wrong, and I'm open to being wrong. I recognize that I'm slightly jaded. I am predisposed to feeling like when somebody outs somebody, they're being a messy punk. Hopefully, you know, that this boy truly doesn't fear for his life. And if he does, then I'll eat my words. But my spirit is telling me this is a publicity stunt. With that being said, Nessa girl, that's all I got. Ain't got no more. Y'all hoes be sure to like and subscribe. And I'm going to call you back a little. I got a couple things I want to talk to y'all about today. Bye.